What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Talk the Walk. We're here in Dallas, Texas, and this is Parris Campbell.
Campbell across the middle. Parris Campbell got the big-time speed. There he goes. Campbell off to the races. 10. Touchdown.
Clear about the Parris Campbell. Watch out. He's a burner. Campbell down the sideline. Campbell. Touchdown, Ohio State. Protection again. Haskins going up top. He's got Campbell. And Campbell pulls it in. Touchdown. Here goes Campbell. Off to the races. Touchdown.
And we got Parris Campbell right here in front of me, man. Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely, man. So just take me back to the beginning, kind of give us a brief testimony, how you kind of came to the faith.
So, yeah, I grew up a Christian. Was raised in a single-parent home with my mom. My grandparents had a huge influence on my life as well, her parents. And, you know, growing up kind of, my faith was always controlled by my mom and my grandma. You know what I mean? Like, they were the ones that made sure I prayed, made sure I go to church. It's like a running joke in my family. Like, when we were kids, if my friends came over, my mom was always like, you better make sure you got, church clothes for Sunday because if your friends come over, we're going to church.
You're from the South.
You know what I'm saying? One of those type deals. My family is.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was, one of those type deals. And, like, growing up, I always felt like they had, that part of my life covered. Like, they always prayed for me. I never really prayed for myself. They just kind of always checked that box for me. And then, going throughout, high school and a little bit into college, like, I started to, like, pray on my own and, like, quote unquote, have a relationship with Jesus, but it wasn't anything that was serious. It was lukewarm. Kind of, just pray. Like, pray before I eat or pray before a big game. Or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not really.
Just the ritual of it without any meaning.
No meaning behind it, exactly. And, I would say really when I got to college, kind of like my first scene being away from little old Akron, Ohio, right? Going to a big city in Ohio like Columbus.
And a big football school.
Bro, huge, right? School. And so, you go from being, the best player all your life to Ohio State, where everybody's fast, everybody's strong, everybody, you know what I mean?
Everyone's probably way bigger than you.
Bro, exactly. And I was 16 when I got to college. I skipped a grade, and so I was young.
Almost 2 grades.
Yeah, I skipped a grade and I got a summer birthday, so it was just, And so I was 16 when I got to college, so I was little fish in the ocean, right?
You're talking grown men versus
18, 19,
16-year-old.
exactly. And that was really, like, it was so hard for me to, like, eat that slice of humble pie of not being the fastest no more, not being the best. And, I kind of went into it really like a dark place of depression. And I was like consulting with my mom a lot. Like, I would talk to her like every single day, and I would tell her, I'm like, I just don't think this is the place for me. Like, it's just too hard. Like, I think I need to go to a lower school, like another Division I school, like Akron, like come back home and just be with the family.
You wanted to leave Ohio State?
Bro, wanted to leave, hated it. Just like, it was that much of a shell shock, like a culture shock to me. Like, I was just like, it's not for me, right? And
there was no grace of like, I'm 16, I'm a little strong.
Nah, because I just always like,
I'm just better than you.
And it's kind of a like twofold thing, like, because I'm a competitor, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I couldn't compete, right? And then like when you get there, I'm getting recruited with the same guys, but these guys came in early, so they already looking jacked, they looking like they apart, like, and it was just, I was like, bro, nah, this just is not it. And, obviously playing for a guy like Urban Meyer, where he makes the environment super, super tough, it was just something that I was new to. And, so I battled a little bit of depression in that time where I was having scary dreams. Like, I was like wanting stuff to happen to the facility and not go in. Like, I was like, dang, if I wake up this morning and somebody do something to the Woody Hayes facility, that would make it so I don't got to go into, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like a really dark place that I was in, bro. And, I remember like having like multiple conversations with my mom, and she was just pretty much like obviously talking me through it, and like, like, I'm not gonna let you come home, like, you're not a quitter, but like really stamped like, well, you need to just sit down and pray about this, like, you need to talk to God about this. And I would say really that's kind of when I started to take my faith and my walk serious, just because like I had met a battle that I couldn't face alone.
That was like
right?
freshman, sophomore year?
Yeah, freshman year, and going through that training camp, I ended up getting a concussion, and it was just like thing after thing happening, bro. And I was just like, nah, like I gotta start taking my faith serious. And I would say that's like really when I came to You know what I mean? So
what were those scary dreams like? I've heard other players like Travion Henderson, even from Ohio State, talk about that kind of stuff when they're going through difficulties, especially in their own faith.
Yeah. The biggest thing that happened to me, bro, I was having dreams that I would get on a plane. Like, this was like so many times. Like, I get on a plane and like the plane would just be crashing. It was like constant, like just, night after night, bro. Yeah, literally, like get on the plane, go through the whole TSA routine, check in, get on the plane, instant like panic, like, and that was kind of like what I was feeling like on a day-to-day basis, just panic, scared, frightened, like not really know what to do, where to go, like just depressed. I felt like I ain't really have nobody. When I did, you know what I mean? Like you just, you know what I mean? It's just, it was a scary, scary place to be, and it was just really dark, and I didn't really ever see the light, you know, during that time.
Mm-hmm. And because did you always play football? Like, when did you discover football in itself?
Yeah, I started playing football when I was 7 years old. So early, tackle, straight into tackle.
First sport?
Nah, so track was actually my first sport. Started running track when I was 5, then basketball when I was like 6, and then football when I was 7. Tried baseball in there a little bit, but baseball wasn't for me. Yeah,
it's too slow, man.
It's too slow, way too slow.
Because I mean, I just kind of have this dot connection of you've been the man your whole time in high school.
Yeah.
You don't really like need God in your mind. You're in high school, man. You're on top of the world.
Yeah.
And it was the first time you get to Ohio State, and then bam, it was your first time in difficulty. That was when like you kind of turned to the faith.
For sure.
So then when did you I mean, I know you're married now. When did you guys meet?
So me and my wife actually met on Instagram, believe it or not.
You slid in the DMs?
Slid in DMs, got denied 3 times. Literally, like, and that sounds crazy, like Peter denying Jesus, right? But nah, she literally ignored me 3 times. I stayed persistent, and she just ended up, you know, responding back to me. Once she responded, I was my foot in the door. And we met on Instagram that was 2015. Met in 2016 and was dating from there. Been married for 5 years since then. Got married in 2021.
You guys were dating through college?
Dating through college, through my sophomore year. Well, my sophomore year, we were like talking. She was trying to be serious. I was still trying to like play the streets a little bit, do both. I had 2 girls.
You're sliding in the DMs, but you're still trying to.
Yeah, still trying to. Yeah. Like not really.
Because you were the guy at Ohio State.
I guess. Yeah. Ego.
Yeah, exactly. Pride.
But and then junior year, we were dating serious. Senior year, obviously dating serious. And we had my son senior year too.
You had your son senior year?
Had my son senior year.
Yeah. Okay, so go rewind the clock.
Yeah, sorry.
You said you got not lukewarm sophomore year. That's when you started taking your faith seriously.
Yeah. So
then there's obviously a lukewarm gap in here where you're not married and you have a son.
Yeah.
So can you just kind of take me through that whole timeline?
Yeah, for sure. I would say obviously it's like you taking faith serious, but like the enemy still has holes on certain parts of your life, right? Where it's like you kind of still living like, oh, I got this area covered, but like I'm gonna take this area serious when it's time to, you know, pray. And you know what I'm saying? So, like,
was it more of like you were trying, or like you had this area locked down, but like you just were like, yeah, whatever on this?
Not trying. Like just
no conviction,
just living life. Yeah, no conviction, no nothing. And then
I just think that's a place that a lot of Christians are.
No, yeah, for sure.
They pick and choose kind of their convictions or what they want to follow. And
that was the thing too, is like you like as a Christian believer, like you know what's right from wrong, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, if I'm living like this, like me and my girlfriend at the time, obviously sleeping together, living together, like, you know, in the back of your head, you know it's wrong, but it's like that's just life right now. Like that's just life.
We'll figure it out later.
Exactly. Push it off. And so, you know, me and my wife talk about that now. It's like, dang, like imagine if we would have did it the right way, or we would have waited, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of it, it's like God, like He aligns everything for a reason. Everything's for a purpose and a plan. But yeah, so senior year, we end up having my son, which is crazy because, bro, his like this. If I tell you, I'm going to tell you the testimony about it, but
just tell me the whole thing.
His birth was insane. So, boom, let me rewind a little bit. So, we find out she's pregnant, right? And we find out because this one day, I'm just like, yo, you need to go to the store and get a pregnancy test. And she's like, what? I'm not going to get a pregnancy test. I'm like, nah, like I really, like something was just telling me, I'm like, nah, she needs to go get a pregnancy test. So she go to Walmart. She used to go to Walmart and always give me like fruit platters, and then like we would make cookies at the crib. You know what I mean? So that was just kind of our thing. And so I'm like, all right, when you go, just grab a pregnancy test. She's like, all right, whatever, I'll grab one. She comes back in the bathroom, about to take the test. Like, I'm shaking, I'm nervous. I'm like, she's as calm as can be, like not worried, not concerned. She's like, I'm not pregnant. So boom.
I had one pregnancy scare and we're married. And I was freaking out.
Yeah,
so I can only imagine, bro. You're a junior high school, senior.
Right. So, this is a college though.
Junior year, right?
Yep, junior year college. So, boom. She takes the test. You know, like they got the little lines. You gotta wait for the lines, whatever. So, boom, one line comes up. I'm looking. I'm like, pregnant, not pregnant. Like, oh no, you gotta wait 2 more minutes. I'm like, all right, bet. 2 more minutes goes by. You start seeing that little second line come up, bro. I instantly dropped to the floor. Like, she's sitting on the toilet. I'm standing right there over her, like, drop to the floor. We don't talk for the rest of the night. Keep in mind, this is at like 7:30. Like, this is not even like late night.
No
like,
excitement, just devastation.
Nah, just devastated. Like, what in the world is going on, right? So, don't talk for the rest of the night. Wake up next morning. We like, what? Like, what just happened last night, right? What's going on? And so, you know, like, where was God falling in this moment? You know what I mean? To be honest, like looking back on it, if I'm taking myself back to that time, I was so blinded. I didn't know. Like I didn't know what was going on, what to do, how to even handle the situation. Do I pray? Do I tell someone what do I do? And so like we kept it to ourselves, man, and like, you know, going through that time, we're like, well, shoot, we gonna keep it, or what are we gonna do? And like,
so we're talking keep it.
Yeah, literally.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so, like,
and at this time, did you feel like you were like a devout Christian? And I'm not saying that you were pick and choose and whatever.
No, yeah. No, I was a Christian.
Yeah. You're just a panicking.
Exactly.
18-year-old.
So, you know, we go back and forth about that, and that ends up becoming the whole thing where like something's just in my spirit, like absolutely not, like that's not who you're about. That's not what you believe. And my wife as well, not my now wife, like that's just not what we do. We would never. And
you guys didn't think about it for long or nothing?
No, we thought about it, but it just came to a point where it's like my spirit, like it was just something dropped in my spirit, like you know this is not right.
Yeah.
Like you come on, you're gonna face some repercussions that you won't ever be able to recover from. And like when I think about that now, as the man I am today, and the kind of things that I went along my walk now, is just like I can't even believe that I had that thought, right? Because me now looking back, it's just like, man, like God he gonna figure it out. We gonna find a way. Like, obviously, we shouldn't even be in this position in the first place, because if we were living to what we know what is right and true, we wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have been in that position. But obviously, sinful nature, human, like that's just.
You are in that position now.
You
just gotta trust God.
Exactly. So
pause just for 2 seconds, because you guys actually went to Plan P, right? If I remember right, you guys pulled up and didn't go in.
Yep.
Just give yourself a quick second to pause and think about the person that might be in that same situation. They're pregnant, they're probably panicking, but they're a Christian. Like, put yourself in your shoes. What would you say to that person that's kind of in that situation?
Yeah. So first and foremost, you know, whether I can't say like if they're a Christian or not, but like me now, first and foremost, like you gotta pray. Like in that moment of despair and not knowing where to go, not what to do, like you gotta pray. And I don't like whether at that time you're a Christian or not. I feel like the God that I serve, he gonna talk in that moment. That's just one of the moments. You know what I mean? And
he loves his children too much.
Yeah, like for us to make that choice and that mistake, like, cause it happens all the time in life, like where we faced with a decision that might not be as big as that one, but the Lord will step in some way, somehow, and get our attention. And you know, I just feel like if you are in that situation, like, it's never as bad as it seems. You know what I mean? Like, in the grand scheme of things, like when it first hit you and you're like, oh, like my life is over, this and that, like it's never as bad as it seems. And thirdly, like if you have people around you, like seek other people, like seek wise counsel, seek godly counsel if you have it. If you don't have it, just find it if you don't have it, and then seek some type of counsel. Like, don't make that's not a decision you want to make alone.
I can almost promise you, if you find godly counselor or somebody that is Christian, you tell them what's going on.
Yeah,
they're gonna help you out.
Absolutely,
I promise
1,000%. So even if you you don't know anybody, go to your local church or someone. Just walk, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You gotta take that chance because you don't want to make that decision on your own. It's something you'll regret for the rest of your life for sure. Yeah.
So continue along with the pregnancy.
Yeah. So boom, obviously get past all that and decide that we're gonna go through the pregnancy. Kind of fast forward a little bit to Labor Day, to my wife being in labor. And my wife ended up being in labor for 32 hours, I believe. Yeah, OD, right? So look, let's get this. So we had a midwife during our pregnancy, right? Midwife is just, some check in with during the pregnancy. She comes in, house checks, all this stuff. So boom, we're at the hospital. We're in my wife's probably I want to say 20 some hours into labor, and she's telling the nurses,
so long.
It's crazy. She's telling the nurses yo, I feel like my son's about to he's about to fall out. I feel like he's ready to, So they come check her, see how many centimeters she's dilated, and oh no, you're not dilated enough yet. It's not ready. You're not ready to go. Whatever. This goes on. I kid you not, for 4 to 6 hours of her just telling them constantly, yo, I feel like he's ready to come. I feel because if you're a woman in that situation, you know your body, you know what you're feeling. I've never felt this feeling before. It has to be right?
Yeah.
So, boom. So 4 to 6 hours go by. They come in, they check her again. They're like, oh my gosh, you're 13 centimeters out, or 14 centimeters out. You're only supposed to be 10 to go push. So she's 4 past. Been telling you, right?
Yeah.
Come on, so they're like, oh, we gotta get this started now. Mm-hmm. Bro, whole time our midwife's off shift. She left 30 minutes ago. So she's not there. Yeah. And keep in mind, she lived 45 minutes away from the hospital. So there's no, let's call our midwife and get her. No, she's won't.
Just not making it.
She won't get her. So we had another nurse or another doctor fill in to do the delivery. And so my son, he ends up coming out, and I'm down there watching everything. First and foremost, it was malpractice. Straight up malpractice.
Malpractice?
Malpractice. The way that she delivered my son, was just, I'm not a doctor, and I knew something was
you're
wrong.
Watching this.
I'm
right.
It can't be right.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother story. But my son, he ends up obviously getting him out, and he's lifeless. My son is blue. He's no life in him.
He had the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck.
Has the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck 3 times. He was diagnosed with a condition abbreviated HIE, and I can't tell you the full term, but it's hypoxic, something this long term. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you what it is. Pretty much is he went so long without oxygen to his brain that it created brain damage on his frontal lobe, and so then.
Did they ever say because of how long she was yo?
Well, they never really said that, but we know that's what it's from, right? And so. Once he comes out, once they get him out, because he got stuck too, so he had shoulder dystocia, which
break his collarbone.
Yep, the whole thing. Yeah. So get him out lifeless. The doctor, I'm supposed to help deliver my son, right? Mm-hmm. So the doctor basically pops my son in my hands. He's lifeless. Keep in mind.
He's blue.
And so I'm like, well.
Oh man, that's heartbreaking.
I'm my wife Taylor wants to see her son. So let me, I don't know, just guide him up there. Put him on her chest. She slides down her chest. Bro, it's
just like a dead body.
Dead body. The most wicked thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's horrible.
Not even.
I can't even believe you're able to talk about it.
Bro, yeah, no.
It's probably so many years removed.
I've told this story so many times too. It's just so. Not even 30 seconds go by. They start yelling on the intercom, stat. So all these doctors, nurses running in, right?
15 running in.
Grab my son, take him over to an incubator in the corner, and so my mom is in there, and my wife Taylor's mom is in there, and so my mom is with me, coddling me, rubbing my back, whatever, and we're watching them resuscitate my son, and the nurse looks at me, she's like, "What's your son's name?" And I'm like, "His name's Kai." And she's like, "Just start to say your son's name. Just start to say your same name." So I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Kai, wake up, his daddy." They're resuscitating him, and this probably goes on for 5 minutes, and then he you see a big raising his chest, air going into his lungs, and then a loud cry just lets out, right? And it was bro, it was
How was the relief in that moment?
Bro, it was amazing. But like the whole time, me and my mom are over like just praying, like so locked in, bro. Just calling on God's name. Not even like to like save my son, but just like to be in the room with us. Like, Lord, we just want your presence. Like, we just want to feel you in the room. Like, and I started saying my son's name, Kai, and then let out that big gasp of air and start crying, right? And so they take him, they rush him off. Because they got to run all these tests on him and see, like, you know, what ends up happening. And that's when we find out about all the stuff, you know, that had happened. And so once this diagnosis happens, they have to transfer him to a different hospital. So keep in mind, Taylor's still in the room.
She's in the bed probably still.
Just gave birth. She has no idea what's going on. Hasn't even seen her son's face. Doesn't even.
Did she even hear the cries?
If she did, it was brief. Because like as soon as he started crying, they just took him. And
as long as she knew though that he was
she
alive,
knew that he was alive. She knew that he was alive.
Yeah.
And so we get down to the other room. They're like, we need to transfer him to a different hospital because we don't have the stuff that he needs to treat him. So boom, we get up. They're like, we're gonna go to a different hospital. Like obviously the dad's gonna go, you're gonna go, and so my mom came with me. My wife, she's still back at the hospital. Bro, like, in the whole time, like, I'm traveling and, like, going to the other, like, because we're in an ambulance, we're traveling to the other hospital. I'm like, Taylor she has no idea, like, what's going on. Her son was just born. She hasn't seen him.
Got taken.
She heard a little cry, but, like, has no idea, right? So we get to this other hospital, dude. Bro, I walk into the room. It looks like a Grey's Anatomy episode. Like, just how many doctors it was. Like, everybody run up to me. Head doctor comes up to me. He's telling me everything. And he's like, all right, you got one or two options. He said, either we do nothing, and in 24 to 48 hours, your son might not be here. Like, he might not be alive. Or they had this thing they called it like a...
Might or might not. Like, what did they give you, like 70, 20?
Like they didn't really give me a percentage, but he was just like... he was pretty stern in his might not be here in 24 to 48 hours. So I'm like, okay. And then the other thing, it was like, this practice that they call a cooling process. And so basically what it was, they put him in an incubator and put him on this cooling mat and lowered his body temperatures down to like hypothermia levels, right? Okay. And that is to try to subdue the bleeding that was on his brain, right? And so, bro, I'm 20 years old at the time. I'm like, I gotta make a choice on whether my son could potentially live or go through with this practice that you guys do and might not live still, right? And so I just remember in that moment, like looking and turning to my mom, it was kind of like similar to kind of when I was going through my depression, like looking to turn to my mom and like get some advice, right? And like that was the first moment my mom was like, whoa, I can't make this decision for you. You got to make this decision on your own.
Yeah.
Right?
It's hard to be a grown man now.
Grown man. And like that was the best advice that she ever gave me because that also opened the door for me to continue my walk with the Lord deeper. Because, you got to make that decision on your own, but I'm not really making that decision on my own, right? And so I'm in the hospital room bawling like a little baby, like just crying. And I'm on the phone with Taylor, like trying to tell her everything the doctor's telling me at the same time, like crying, bawling, like. And man, the doctor, he just came up to me and he was like, look, dude, like man to man, like I'm gonna be honest with you. He's like, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure your son lives, like everything I can. And I'm like, I don't even remember what I said to him, but I was just like so emotional, bro, and just like looking for an answer, but not from the doctor, but just from God. I'm just like, God, like, just please, just like, I don't know, just please. And, so we end up going through with that process. They do that practice, and Taylor gets transferred over to that hospital. They let her leave early, thank God, so she could come over and be there during that time because he had to be in that state for 3 days. So he's getting, I got pictures on my phone. It's crazy. He had all these like sensors and tubes hooked up to him. Man. It looked wicked, bro. Like he's eating through a tube and like all this stuff. Like we didn't get to hold him for literally 72 hours. Taylor did not get to hold her son for 72 hours. Crazy. So we're in the room with him, can't hold. All we can do is go up to him like he's a little pet, like at a zoo, and just look.
That's so awful.
In the incubator, bro. It was terrible. And it's pretty cool because like this is part of my wife's testimony. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to talk about me, but it's really like, it was just so like, cause the Lord made a situation where we thought it was like the most inconvenient thing to be, or it's like this wasn't the right time, or we shouldn't have done it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just everything that was going wrong, he made it for good. You know what I mean? Like in that scripture, right? You know, that's scripture. But my wife's testimony, and she tells it like this. She's like, the whole moment I was at the hospital, at the other hospital, she said there was a moment where her prayer shifted from, Lord God, save my son, to Lord God, have your will. And I get chills every time I tell that story, because like just the power in that, just her surrender, her submission in that moment. It's just like, no, like this ain't about me. This ain't about me praying to God. Like, can you just save my son for me? Can you just like, no, like Lord, have your will. And whatever that is, that's your will. And I'm okay with that. Right. And
that's literally the best place that you
bro,
can be.
it's so powerful. And like, believe it or not, the first time I heard her tell it like that was on our podcast.
Really?
Yes, because and she told me in prior like times, but to tell it with that much detail and that much emotion, it was just so powerful, bro. And I'm like, it was a dope moment for us. But yeah, now like
check that episode out.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to send that to me.
Yeah, I will. But you know, fast forward, they said my son would have cerebral palsy. They said my son would never walk. They said my son would never talk.
The brain damage, I'm assuming?
Because of the brain damage. You fast forward, so he was born in 2018. In 2020, we found out the brain damage was completely gone. They did scans on his, because he had
2018, so 2 years later.
2 years later, so he had to for those 2 years he had to like go to all these like doctors and brain, like he had to do these brain tests.
During those 2 years, did it look bad? Like, did it look like something was going to happen, or was it just like it was just a miracle?
Yeah, no, it was just a miracle that he was even like developing the way that he was doing. And like, you know, when you take the babies to do their checkups, he's in the 90th percentile for everything, like size, like all this stuff, right? And it was crazy. So, you know, when we go for that final, check in with the brain doctor, they do the scans and they're like, oh, the brain damage is completely gone. And so like every tall task, every obstacle they put against my son at a young age, like the Lord found a way to defeat it. He's a miracle walking. Like, my son's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with him. He got a little bit of ADHD, but that's okay.
Hey, me too.
You know what I'm saying? That's okay. But yeah, man, like, and I just, like, every time I look at my son, like, whether he's making me upset, whether he's not listening, or whether we're having a blast, like, I'm just, like, reminded of the time and the decision that the Lord, like, guided us through. Because I'm like, I can't imagine life without my son. Like, I physically cannot. You know what I mean? And it's
not even just, how did you word that? You said a blessing on your life. It's not even just a blessing. It's a miracle where he intervened on your life.
Literally.
And it's just like, it's such a clear moment of God just saying, no, you're in my plans.
Yep.
You got my will. And just such an awesome moment.
Yeah, bro. And and shoot, obviously I love both my kids to death. And, you know, so with my daughter, like, obviously, she was a planned pregnancy. We were married and all that stuff, doing it the right way, right? But it's like we were kind of nervous,
of course,
going into that pregnancy, because like my wife especially, like I just don't know what to expect. But praise God, like a normal pregnancy wasn't in labor that long. My wife would tell her, the smoothest pregnancy ever. Like, she was good. She was like, it didn't even hurt. Like, I was good. She's like, let's do it again. I'm like, oh, whoa, let's slow down. But no, man, just praise God, because just like that, like all that stuff had to happen, like to get us to who we are and where we are today. And that was just like you said, like he intervened on that for a reason. Like, that was part of the plan. That was part of, you know, our walking down. Like, when my wife goes and talks to other women or people who might be in that same position, it's just like, I can have this conversation and share my testimony with you. You know what I mean?
You've almost instantly been put into a place of leadership with that experience. Yeah. And that's really awesome that you guys are using that to help other people and really just continue that. So I know we'll get into more of the NFL career stuff, because this question kind of ties into some of that, just knowing what I know about your career. But you've already mentioned you were in this place in your college career of when you were depressed, you hit rock bottom, you came to God. Then you got out of it, you got lukewarm. You found, you had a kid, everything what happened, you got to a place of desperation again. So then you reached out, and then that's again when you were like in a place of desperation, you were reliant on God, which is where we're supposed to be. And then on top of that, you were welcoming his will. So how, on the flip side of that, you do that when you're at rock bottom, how do you do that when you're on the top?
Yeah, shoot. I'm still trying to figure that out.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? And obviously now, like, I would say really the past year of my life, that's something that's been crucial to me, like finding that out. You know what I mean? And I take a look back at my kind of continuous testimony, right? Like you just said, every single time that my faith was the strongest was in desperation, right? You know, the question is, how do you keep that, you know, when you're on the top or when life's good? And something that's been so awesome for me, we joined a church here, and our pastor, like, I just absolutely love our pastors, Pastor Daniel Floyd at Gateway Church, and he just finished a sermon about faith between Sundays, and it's like, faith. Bro, you know what I mean?
That song by SCU.
Yeah, and it's just like the message was like, how do we keep our faith from fading between the week? Like, cause you know, everybody go to church on Sundays, put a good fit on and praise God and sing worship songs. But then good. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when stuff get hard and life hits,
literally
like,
by Sunday night.
You know what I mean? He's like, well, am I a hypocrite or like what's going on, right? And man, like, you got to do the work. Like, you got to do the work when, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what is that? What is the work?
When like you said, when life's good, what is the work? The work is scripture, stand in that word. The most important to me, spending time with God, like real time, like not just, oh, I'm gonna pray a little 2 minutes here, like nah, like go into that prayer closet, bro, like get on your knees, like submit, like what is it, what does your prayer time look like? What does your time with God look like? And I stand on this because I guarantee you, the more and more time you spend with God, the more and more you're gonna hear, the more and more you're gonna have that discernment, like. Because a lot of people are like, oh, man, I keep praying, but God's just silent. Pray more. Yeah. Pray more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you, and the time that you're praying and spending time in his word, you learn how he speaks to us. You know what I mean? Like,
and he speaks to everybody differently. But you have so many people who have like a fan on in the room. You're talking, but the fan's so loud I can't hear you. You got to turn the distractions off because you are talking, you just can't hear it.
100%. Like, And what are those distractions? You gotta be real with yourself about what those distractions are. You know what I mean? Like,
it's really real.
If you spending more time sitting there scrolling or whatever it is for you, like everybody's different. Whatever that distraction is, you know what I'm saying? Is like, if you spend an hour just doom scrolling, maybe cut that down to 30 minutes. Let's cut it in half. Let's start there. Then take it down 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
with the amount of biblical illiteracy that we see in America as it is, and just most people not reading their Bible, even if you just cut 5 minutes and went back into work, man, it would be so different.
And I think that's a great point. I think, like, as believers and as, like, we got to be realistic. Like, let's not put ourselves up to this tall task, right? Like, God's not asking you to change overnight. Like, he knows, like, that's not possible. It's a process. You got to change through a process. So, like you said, like, if it's 5 minutes, like, start with 5 minutes. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like, okay, I'm doing really good with 5 minutes. All right, let's try 10 minutes today. Like, and just keep building. Just like anything else, though. Like, and I like to make the comparison of people just, you know, in their profession and in their job fields. Like, you didn't get to the top of your job or where you felt like you was in a comfortable place overnight. Like, you built time again. Like, same thing with, like, you step into the NFL world, like, nobody made the league overnight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we all went through certain things and did this and did that, like, and we got to where we wanted to be because of the time that you spend, the hard work that you put in. It's the same thing with our walk. Like, it's the same thing.
You got to practice. You got to put in the work behind the scenes, in the 100%. Word, and doing all these things. Continue on with your NFL career.
Yeah.
That's where my notes are taking me.
No, you good. Get drafted in 2019 to the Indianapolis Colts. I remember sitting in the room, obviously with all my family. Second day of draft night, first day. Was expected to go first day, didn't go first day. Oh,
were you projected first round?
Yeah, I was projected late first round. Receivers started to go mad late, so, you know, everything got shifted back or whatever. And shoot, I remember that night, like, I was upset, but, like, I was also just, like, just on my knees praying, like, God, like, whatever your will is, like, I know, like, you have plans to prosper me. Like,
so again, rock bottom.
Yeah, but it was rock bottom, but it was really just like, I'm gonna be good. Moment. Like, it was like there was some defeat, there was some disappointment. Obviously, wanted to go first round, but didn't. But it's like also just like it is what it is. Like, God, I'm trusting you. And so second night, obviously, that's obviously a pinnacle moment for me and my family. Having a lifelong dream come true on that night. Get to Indy 2019. And shoot.
What were the expectations on you? Because you had just broken the record with 90 receptions coming out. And what receiver were you off the board?
Yeah, I was 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you name all the people in front of you? Yeah,
Are you one of those?
I can. First receiver taken was Hollywood Brown. Second receiver taken was N'Keal Harry. Third receiver taken was Debo.
Were you drafted in 2018?
At the end of 2018, so 2019, yeah. That was my draft class. Yeah,
I didn't realize you've been in the league that long.
Yeah, I've been for a minute, brother.
Yeah,
It's been long.
That's right, because you
just
were
called me
college at
old.
16. Yeah. We're the same age, but still.
Yeah. But no.
How old were you when you got drafted then? 21?
I was 21. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty young to be drafted.
Yep, 21. And so, Debo, then AJ.
Because, you and Debo are, in my eyes, radically different ages.
Yeah,
Debo,
exactly.
I mean, I'm not going to call him old, but he's definitely older.
No, yeah, he's older than me, for sure. It's so crazy, though, because there's guys in the draft class that are like a year or two older than me, but then there's guys that were the same age. It's just weird. Yeah.
Especially with COVID. You didn't quite hit that, but COVID really made the escape huge.
Yeah, exactly.
You got Carson Beck, who's 26, and you got Jadarian Price, who's 21.
Football's at a weird place right now. So I want to say I was the 6th or 7th receiver taken that year. So, I mean, the projections was for me to come in, start and be receiver 3. Because obviously Indy had T.Y. Hilton, which is a good friend of mine.
Was Pittman there yet?
Pittman was not there. He was just the year after me. But we signed Devin. I don't know if you remember Devin Funches.
Yeah.
They signed Devin Funches in free agency. Gave him 1 year. He had a nice deal, 1 year, something 10 or 11. And then obviously T.Y. was doing his thing. And so I was the young guy coming in to be the slot receiver 3. And so obviously, you'd be drafted in the second round, expectations are pretty high. I carried those, bro. I thought it was, a privilege to be picked that high amongst my peers and, to be going to a place like Indy. I mean, we had Andrew Luck at quarterback, but this was the year he retired. He retired that preseason. Yeah, heartbreak, right? Yeah.
Oh, the excitement
bro,
and the heartbreak.
So I went from being I'm about to win Rookie of the Year to oh, no, what just happened?
Yeah.
The entire franchise.
Who did play that year?
So Jacoby Brissett ended up being our quarterback. Yeah. And
didn't he kind of pop off that year?
So he did good that year, but then that next year he really popped off.
Okay.
And so it worked out for Kobe. So I go in, and my first 3 years are just injury after injury after injury after injury. Rookie year, I had 3 different surgeries, 4 different injuries, hernia surgery, foot and hand surgery. And bro, I mean, I had never been seriously injured ever in football. So
surgeries.
To have 3 surgeries right back to back, I was just what is
Was it just the hits? Is it just the level of playing field?
Bro, everything was just a freak
accident. Because you see this so much, people who played their whole college career.
No, yeah, for sure.
And
you would think you'd be man, it gotta be some rhyme or reason, but mine were every injury that I had was literally a freak accident. I can tell you this, the hernia surgery that I had. Granted, I was dealing with that since Ohio State, but never really knew it was a hernia. But it got to a point where it was just too painful, so I had to get it repaired. The hand, I ended up catching a slant, taking a helmet to the hand as I catch the ball. So it's just how many times do you get hit on your hand? When you get, you know what I mean? What are the chances of that? And then my foot, I end up literally catching a shallow route just across the formation, get tackled, linebacker lands on my foot breaks. I played the rest of that game too. I broke my foot in the first quarter and played the rest of the game. Yeah, I got a little bit of pride in that. But and it's just you can't.
Did you just not feel it, or did you not care, or?
No, I felt it for sure. But it was the last game of the season. I was bro, I gotta play. I gotta rock out. And and then that next year was 2020, was COVID year. So we were training at home, training by ourselves. We couldn't go to the facility. It was crazy. But I was in the best shape of my life, bro. Literally, me training by myself, I still look at that year and the same exact regimen that I had, I still follow that to now because I was in the best shape of my life. And So boom, go into the season, go into training camp, have a great training camp. Obviously starting slot receiver for the year. And Phillip Rivers was our quarterback. I love Phil. That's my dog. And he just was like,
I can't believe he played this year.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
Wicked. But he's so smart, bro. Like he like
as an NFL player, what is your take on that? Like
him coming back?
Yeah, I gotta know.
To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, like it wasn't really a surprise just because of the like
I mean, you played with him, you know.
Yeah, just because of first of all, the situation that Indy was in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were kind of desperate, right? So it wasn't.
He was a high school coach,
right?
bro.
It wasn't really like surprising to me because I know Phil and I know how smart he is. Now, obviously, being able to move around and still throw like his shoulder and all that stuff is just like you can see why he retired.
Yeah.
But he's also smart enough to go out there and be like, okay, well, I did lead the offense down to score a touchdown on his drive. I kept us in some games. Yeah,
that was a frightening game.
Kept them in some games.
Yeah.
And so, like, but when you that smart and you done it for that long, like it's like really riding a bike, like for real. Because Phillip, like that first game we had, I played in the 2020 season. We played the Jaguars, and I had my best game to that point, in my career. And Phil, like, he'd come to the line, he'd see the coverage, and he'd be like, "Yo, Parris, run this. Don't run that. Run this or do this." Or like he was just like so elevated, you know what I mean? And just seeing the defense and knowing the game and stuff like that. So boom, play that game, and like trajectories like this, right? Because I want to say I had like 7 catches for like 80-something yards or something. So great game. Had some big catches in the game, big third down conversions. So like, okay, like I remember coming in on that Monday, like our offensive coordinator at the time, Nick Sirianni, Philadelphia's Eagles head coach now, but he's like, yo, like, yeah, like this is what we got you here for. This is what we drafted you for. Like, yeah, like let's keep this rolling. This week 1, great game, but like let's keep rolling.
So you're probably feeling good too.
Feeling great. Feeling great.
Where was your faith at in that moment? Did it immediately take a back seat, or were you like?
No, my faith wasn't taking a back seat. I was like walking. I wouldn't say I was fully on like one accord though, but I was still like faith was like it was one, but it was still like some 1As and 1Bs that was too close for comfort type. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
For sure.
And so it's like boom, like all right, we rolling. Let's hit the ground running. And going into week 2, right? We playing the Minnesota Vikings, and I was like, bro, I was featured all over the game plan. I'm like, oh, I'm about to have my first 100-yard game. Like I'm about to go crazy. First play of offense, I get a jet sweep to the right on the sideline. Harrison Smith comes down, take my knee out, torn MCL, torn PCL, everything just
whole knee exploded.
Whole knee, boom. Like the picture looks crazy. My knee was like turned. It was wicked. And I just remember being in so much pain on the field, bro, and just like.
And you knew.
I knew instantly.
Yeah.
I'm questioning everything. I'm like, why? Like, God, why now? Why? Like, why? Like, why is this happening? Just came out this great game. Like, all these emotions are running through my mind as I'm on the ground. I'm like, why? And they come down, check my knee, do the whole thing. Like, oh, like we don't know yet, but like let's. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, I just took a big hit to my knee, got twisted. Like it's like I just knew what it was, and dude, I just remember
how doctors are.
Yeah, right. I just remember being devastated, bro. Like, just they took me to the back on the cart, put the towel over my head, crying, sobbing. Like, I was just devastated. I'm like, why? Like, this is the worst moment ever. And shoot, that was like Michael Pittman's my guy, he's my friend, but that's the year we drafted Michael Pittman. Like, like just being in the space of in the football world is like, dude, they're always trying to replace you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't care who you are. You can be just signed a $100 million contract as a receiver. They're still trying to replace you. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how, that's the league.
Who is the best?
That's the league, bro. It's a revolving door, right? And, if something happens to you, like, we got to be ready to put this person in. Like, that's next man up mentality, right? And so that was in my head a little bit. I'm like, dang, like, this is drafted a receiver. Like, he probably going to go crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just all these thoughts and emotions in my head. And
did he have a good rookie? I don't remember.
He did. He had a really good rookie year.
Did you ever have thoughts of like, man, this should be me? Or were you just in your different world because of what you're dealing with?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I did have those thoughts. I did have those comparison thoughts or those jealousy thoughts, those envious. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I told you, I keep it real, bro. Like,
please. Yeah.
I definitely had those thoughts because I'm like, the trajectory was just looking so good, you know what I mean? And like just feeling back comfortable on the field and like having that sense of confidence, like, dang, I can play in this league. Like, yeah, I can play in this league. And it just all of it took it away at once, you know, that it just definitely all those thoughts set in. And I mean, you want to talk about rock bottom? That knee surgery, that rehab, like rock bottom. I thought I would never play football again. It got to a point where, so I had my surgery, right? And I was probably like, I want to say 2 months post-op. And, you know, when you have knee surgery, the biggest thing is like getting the movement back, like the rotation and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I couldn't bend my knee past like 40 degrees after 2 months post-op.
Like this much?
Oh, yeah, literally. And like usually, so
wait, 2 months?
2 months. So I tore my MCL and my PCL.
I know people walking by then.
Exactly. I tore my MCL and PCL, so I didn't tear my ACL. So with the MCL, the biggest thing is you lose is your motion, like your flexibility. Like that's because it's on the inside, so you lose a ton of that motion. And with ACL, you know, guys that usually have a scar on the front of their knee, like that's usually it's hard. It's still hard to get back, but that like ACLs, you see guys walking around easy like that, yeah. And
it's
so
like the Achilles and what you're talking about that you bounce back from.
Yeah, bro, it's just tough. Like you don't see a lot of MCL reconstructions. I had an MCL reconstruction. Like you don't.
Where'd they take it from?
You don't see those a ton. My hamstring. Yeah, and so the thing about my PCL is,
how did they reattach it? Did they screw it or did they?
Yeah, they screw it. Yep, screw. I got like 7 screws down there.
In your knee.
Yeah, crazy.
That's a terrible place.
It's wicked, bro. It's wicked. So with the PCL, that's in the back of the knee, and you don't see a lot of torn PCLs. And if you do tear your PCL, they try not to operate on it because if they operate on it, you're pretty much like will never play again. So thank God my PCL ended up reattaching to itself like on its own, and so they didn't have to operate on it. Nice. Thank God. But they did have to reconstruct my MCL. So boom, fast forward obviously 2 months post-op. Can't bend my. I'm talking every day of rehab. Like they're cranking on my knee, trying to get it bent. I'm in tears in the rehab room. Like
I didn't have my knee done. I have both my ankles reconstructed.
Yeah.
So I remember
you know how it is.
On it.
You know how it is.
It feels like you can literally feel the scar tissue breaking.
Yes.
And like snaps.
And it's just painful.
Yeah.
Like you just in pain. And so they ended up sending me to this specialist, like this knee specialist doctor. And so I was going to like this basically a clinic, like just kind of like an everyday clinic that anybody can walk into, get rehab. But he's like the knee specialist guy, so he gets a lot of like older elderly people who just had like knee replacements. Yeah. And so they're in there doing their rehab. And bro, like I kid you not, like I was going to him probably for like a month. And I'm in there with elderly people, and they're like, because at the end of my rehab, he would always get this like device out where I put my knee in it, and they had these like strings on it and like rolled up, and he would like pull it and pull it and pull it and pull it, and I would be in there in tears, like yelping, like literally yelping, and you got these little elderly women on the tables like looking at me like, oh no, like almost in tears, like no, like it's gonna be okay, like no, like you're good. And I was like, bro, what am I doing with my life? Like what is going on? And like, bro, I just got to a really, really dark place. And so I ended up talking to the trainers with the Colts, and I was like, yo, it's been 2 months and I can't bend my knee. Like this is not going well. Like I don't know why y'all so optimistic, but I don't think. And so I thought I was done playing football. Like you can ask him. I told him, I'm like, yeah, we need to go figure something else. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I was like, nah, like just take a couple of days. They gave me like a couple of days off rehab. They're like, take a couple of days, just go home, like just relax, don't even think about it, just. And came back, and I was like, I got a little bit of renewed, like fresh air. But like the faith wise, it wasn't like I didn't go home and spend time with God and be like, God, like help me get through that. Like ask and pray, just to pray about the situation, right? Like it wasn't like I was just so like blinded because of what my plans were, just got completely blown up.
Yeah,
I'm just like, life is over with, bro.
To be your plan.
Yeah, it wasn't like. I'm like, life is like, it's over with. Really?
And whenever you don't walk out God's plan, your own plan gets blown up every time.
Every single time. And that was
that's a huge part of my testimony too, just that time. And like how I bounced back from that and like going into the next year and stuff like that. So
did you feel like football was a gift or a purpose?
I never had anybody ask me that question. I would say at the time I would say both.
Okay.
I would say both.
Elaborate, please.
I would say both. I would say I felt like it was a purpose because that was my whole entire life. From a young age, it was like, oh, I'm going to the league. Like, I'm going to the league. I'm going to the league. I'm going to the league. So when it happened, when it came up, it was like, oh yeah, this is my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what it's about. Like
God's purpose for your life. Is that what you felt like it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Do you still feel that way?
No. No. I just happen to, get the football gene.
You got a gift.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like maybe your purpose, and I obviously don't know this, total assumption, just walk with me on this, that your purpose could have been like you're supposed to minister within the NFL and you're supposed to really, walk other people out through in your locker room, through their faith.
Yep.
But because you're so focused on your real career that your gift wasn't protected. Whereas if you were walking out your purpose, your gift could have been more protected.
Yeah. Yes. Yes and no. I think when you take that step and you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, I think at that moment as Christians, as believers, we have very, very similar purposes. And I mean that by we're all called to make disciples. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we might be in two different places of the world, but like we all have the same purpose. Like,
but how and where we're supposed to do it is
it's
usually
different.
like your calling.
Exactly. And so, yes, in the place that am in now, being in Dallas, and I know that there's work to be done in the locker room. I know that there's work to be done in the kitchen staff. I know that there's work to be done in the training staff. It's work to be. You know what I'm saying? So, I say yes and no because I don't think it's just limited to I don't think it's limited to the Cowboys. I think it's the church that I'm in, the environment I'm in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's I over the past 2 years of my life, like I've really kind of seen how God works in that way, and stuff that I could never even imagine, or people coming up to me and be like, yo, I got a testimony like when I was in Philly. And that's true. That's a whole other story too. But like, so I was. You can
make it brief. You can make it long.
No, yeah. I know I ramble a lot, bro. But it's just,
no, not at all.
It's just kind of how
Do you feel like you ramble?
At times I do. At times I do.
Right now.
Nah, but so when I was in Philly, so I ended up getting cut after training camp. I had an injury during training camp, and I missed like a significant amount of time. And so at the end of training camp, I ended up getting cut. And
this is the first time you played with Philly?
Yeah, this was 2 years ago.
Because didn't you win a Super Bowl with Philly?
Yeah, so this is all in the same year.
It's all
in the same year.
Okay.
Yeah. And so boom, get cut at the end of training camp. And you'll like this. They wanted me to come back to practice squad. And
no shame in that. But come on,
what?
Man.
Bro. They told me and they had me in the office. Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman, the GM. They're like, yeah, we want you to come be on practice squad. Huh? What? Practice squad?
Yeah.
Nah. Y'all want me to do what? Nah, no. And like I just remember being in that moment, like just being so prideful and my ego just being so loud.
See, no shame in practice squad, man.
Yeah, right. And just no, like y'all are disrespecting me, right? Like I've played in this league. I've done good things in this league. I can play in this league. Like I'm not doing it. And so I remember going home and obviously talking with my wife.
No part of you was grateful for a second chance or opportunity. It was all just
at that time,
disrespect?
absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not. I was like, nah, there's no shot. And so going home, talking to my wife, and she's like, well, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do then? I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna figure it out. Like, retire from football, we're gonna figure it out. Like, it is what it is. And
you would have rather retired from football than play on a practice squad.
Yep. That if you talking to Parris in that moment, yes, 100%. Yes. At that time, I was so. That's weird. Don't ever do that. Third person, I don't like that. But in that moment, I was just like I said, I was just so prideful. And like my ego was just at the forefront of it all. I was just like, yeah, no, there's no shot. And so
no, just love for the game, man. I'm just happy to be here. Like
none of it. None of it.
That's okay.
And I remember it just like in that moment, just feeling like at home, like just lost. Like you just felt like something was just taken away from me and just like lost. So
how much of your identity was in God rather than football at that time?
And that's what I'm getting to. I was walking with the Lord like step in step, right? So in that moment, I'm like when I felt that, I just fell on my knees and started praying. And I literally am not lying to you, word for word. Cause my agent had called me and he's like, "Are you sure you don't want to do practice squad? Are you sure? Like, are you sure?" I'm like, "Absolutely not. Tell them no." So I had told them no like 3 times. And so I'm just like, I start praying because I don't know what to do. I'm like lost. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I don't know what's next. So I start praying. I'm just praying. And I literally tell God, I said, "God, if you want the door to close, keep it closed. But if you want it to open back up, somehow, some way, like you know how to do, open it back up." When I tell you I got done praying, and 2 minutes later, Nick Sirianni called me on the phone.
Himself.
It didn't matter. I just got chills. It didn't matter what he said on the phone because God just answered my prayer in real time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I knew he was telling me to put your pride to the side and go be on practice squad and let me handle it. Let me work it out. You go do what you just prayed about and go, right? And dude,
so he called you about being on the practice squad, not the active
no,
roster.
not the active roster. You called me about being on practice squad. He's like,
it's the same thing we talked about earlier, though. Way to recognize it in that moment of your own conviction and actually getting to that point of an actual answered prayer.
Yep.
So many people pray about something, they get it answered, just not quite in the way that they wanted it to be answered, and they just like piss it off.
Yeah. And see, that was the thing. If I wasn't where I was though on my walk with my identity being in the Lord and like turning to Him in that moment, maybe I would have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I would have missed that moment. But a lot of people don't know like that year changed my life. Like not on some like, oh, you got this contract. No, like it changed my life with the Lord because He was like working in real time in me. And so tell you a little bit of that story of that year. So boom, go to the practice squad. The first, like 4 to 5 weeks, I'm like, man, I never had been on practice squad. I didn't know like what it really was, you know what I'm saying, how people felt when they were on practice squad. I'm just like, bro, I'm miserable. Like, I'm like, dang, I'm practicing, working hard throughout the week just like everybody else. But then Sunday's coming, I'm just in street clothes on the sideline, watching everybody, cheering everybody on.
Do you still get to go to the games?
Yeah, I went to the games. And because I was like really close with a lot of people on that team too. I was like, man, I'm going to the games. But I was just like, just at a moment where, you know, like something that always brought me joy and something I love doing, like it brought me the opposite of that. You know what I mean? I felt not important. I felt I wasn't having fun. You know what I'm saying? It just brought me the opposite of what football's always brought me.
You're still young at that point too.
Exactly.
You're 26.
26.
Yeah.
And so like I said, like the first 4 to 5 weeks, bro, just miserable. And so we ended up having a bunch of injuries, throughout the year. And I want to say it was week 6 or 7, I'm pretty sure. And then they ended up making me active. And so I was active for a game. And then after the game, they released me again, and I went back to practice squad. Then the same thing happened the next week. And then the following week, I was active for like 2 weeks. So boom, look, we played.
How many games you got to play in to like be technically on the team to then get like a Super Bowl?
So they can only bring you up from practice squad 3 different times. And then that third time, they have to sign you to the active. But like a way like kind of around it is, you can play 3 games and then I sign you to the active, but I can release you again and then just put you back on the practice squad. And then I can't sign you back to the active. Like you just have to be on practice squad for the rest of it. Like I can't elevate you anymore is what I'm like.
For the rest of the season though.
Unless I sign you back to active. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because you get 3 elevations on practice squad.
Oh, gotcha.
And so once you get those 3 elevations,
I didn't know
you
that.
get if say you're in practice squad, you played 3 games, right? But they only elevated you.
Then you can just keep doing it.
Exactly.
They just have to pay a little more.
Exactly. And then the 4th time, I have to sign you active, but then I'll release you again, put you back on practice squad, but then I have to sign you active. And
that's just a guaranteed contract that you just get off? You don't have to get into that, but...
Yeah, yes and no. There's a bunch of like underwriting stuff. But And so I had 3 games. They signed me to active, and then they ended up releasing me again, but then they brought me back on practice squad. So after that time, I was on practice squad for a little bit, but then something else happened after that. But the Tampa Bay game was, I want to say week 7 or 8. And so before that time, I have a mentor who still works for the Eagles. He's one of the strength coaches there. And this dude is deeply rooted in his faith. Like, he's still somebody I go to who's like my godly counsel and I go talk to. And he's just been really good for my life. And that's why I needed to be there, because that relationship started there. And so I just remember, like, before I got elevated the first time, I was remembering like talking to him, and he's like, well, you can't be the victim in it. Like, you know what I mean? You can't have that victim mindset. And I remember just talking about that, and I was just making changes. I was like, well, let me start preparing like I'm the starter on the team. Like, let me start preparing like I'm the number 1 receiver, and I gotta go get ready to play a game every week. Even though I know I'm not playing, let me just change my mindset. I'm like, look, like, God don't want me to just sit and soak. Yeah. Like, let me change the way I'm thinking about it. Let me change the way I'm acting. So I got it.
It's biblical to work, do your work as if it was for the Lord.
Exactly. And so, like, the next 2 weeks, I'm like, man, I'm getting up early again, going to the training room, taking care of my body, doing all this and that, not knowing what was going to come of it. You know what I mean?
Probably noticed immediately.
You know what I'm saying? Just doing it. So,
Sorry,
boom, we had injuries, so I ended up getting elevated. So playing the Tampa Bay game, like, we ended up getting smashed. But I scored a touchdown in this game, right? And
that was your first one probably in how many games?
My first one in a year. Yeah, my first one in a year. 2 years, basically.
That had to feel good.
Bro, it was amazing. But in the moment, I scored and immediately, like, just gave praise to God. And, like, I was just thinking about everything, bro. Like, everything that I had been through up until that point. Because a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, he just scored a touchdown. But, like, that moment for me, like, it went back to the me praying, like, God, if you want to close this door, close. Like, it went back to that moment, right? Like, it was like playing like a movie in my head, right? So, boom, fast forward Monday back, at the facility, we do interviews, right? And so I'm getting interviewed, and they're asking me, like, well, like, how'd you stay locked in during this time and this and that? And, like, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff. And I'm like, y'all have no idea. Like, this ain't even about me. Like, I'm only here, and I only scored that touchdown, and y'all talking to me. I literally said this in an interview. I'm like, this is a God thing. This don't have nothing to do with me. I'm like, my trust is in God, and he saw me through it and this and that. Boom. I go to church. Like 2 weeks later, we had a bye week. I go to church, and at the service, somebody stops me in the parking lot, and they're like, Parris, like, can I talk to you for a second? I'm like, yeah, like, absolutely. What's up? We were like, me and my wife were trying to figure out where to go eat lunch after church, and he's talking to me. He's like, yeah, man, like, I have this cousin back home, and he's a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan, and I've been trying to get him into the church, and I've been really just trying to just talk about Jesus with him, and he hasn't really been hearing me, and it's just been hard to talk to him and this and that. And he's like, but he saw your interview you did 2 weeks ago. He was like, Parris, when I tell you, like, he's been in the church ever since. And I was just like
that's literally why all the doors were open.
Real time, bro. Yeah. I was just like, God, like, you are so amazing. Because it's always a
bigger plan,
it's
man.
so big, like, things we don't even think about, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, oh, this is why this is why I'm doing this. It's not about me. It's not about what I get from it. It's about God changing lives through us, bro. And
even if it's just one soul,
and even if it's just
one soul is worth everything.
Exactly. And it's like the same, like the parable about the shepherd. Like, he's leaving the 99 to get the one, bro. Like, it's about that one. And so, like, that was just a really, really cool moment for me, and, like, changed my perspective on a lot of things. And obviously, you fast forward, they end up signing me active for the rest of the season, and we go and play into the playoffs, and I get to play in a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl. Like, yes, that was cool. Don't get me wrong, to play and win a Super Bowl.
Bro, that was dope.
But it's just, bro, like, when people like, dang, like, you got a Super Bowl ring, you're like,
that's not my favorite moment of that
it's
season.
not, bro. It's really not. It's really not. Like, people can say, nah, he lying. Like, I'm not lying, bro. Like,
I can see it.
I'm
anybody
just
that watches this, you can see it.
But it's just like, I just seen God work in my life, bro, real time during that year, bro. And
how does that feel to know that you've seen him work in your lives so many times?
It just gives me hope for everything that I go through in the future.
There you go.
It really does, bro, because it's like that's just his word. Like, His word stands true. It don't matter how we feel. It don't matter about our emotions. We can be having the most terrible day. That word is the truth. Like, and I'm standing on that. And so that gives me the courage and it gives me the hope to continue to, just push forward and drive through, bro. So, yeah.
I love you brought up two things that are both in my notes that I really want to touch on. So one of them is I feel like we see so many people in the NFL like, oh, glory to God and all of that. And I love that. I'm no way pocket watching somebody or telling everybody like, oh, your faith is fake or whatever. But also like fruits are very much what we see behind the scenes. So kind of take me through like, well, first of all, NFL culture and just what that's like. And then we'll kind of move over to like the Christian side of things in the NFL.
Yeah. NFL world is crazy, bro. I mean, I think one thing that people may not see from the outside in is just a lot of and I don't really want to, like, I don't even know, like the envious side of it. Like, I feel like there's a lot of
fans or from other players.
No, from like players to player. Like, I don't like, some people won't even like admit that it's like envy. You know what I mean? But it's like
jealousy about playing time,
money, this and that. Like, I feel like that's a really real thing in the NFL. And maybe some other guys may disagree with me, but I mean, I think I'm seeing it from a different lens, honestly. And
the veil has been lifted.
Yeah, and like I used to deal with that. Maybe sometimes still fall back into it.
How could you not? You're a 20-some-year-old getting handed a $1 million contract. Like,
it's just, you're just like, oh, like, man. And it'll come off sometimes as like playful, because you'll see guys get paid all the time. Like, dang, like he got that. All right, dang, who got that contract?
You see that all the time.
But when you really think about it, bro, no, it's something deeper. Like, like
all good jokes contain some.
Yes,
like J. Cole,
yes.
like he said
and
that.
So it's just like, that's coming from a place of something inside of you where it's like,
you don't like that.
Yeah, like you don't know what he was supposed to get, or you don't know God's plan for his life. And I'm not, because it's the devil blesses people too, but
it goes both ways.
It goes both ways. But so like I've been trying to rip.
You just see that all the time with people like get caught up. I use the word pocket watch, but Christians do pocket watch other Christians and like, oh, you can't take that deal, or you can't do this, or you should be donating that. It's like you have no idea what they got behind the scenes. You got no idea how much they do for charity. You don't know how much they donate. You don't know their finances. Like, people need to really chill out on that. I see that so much, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves.
And you're like, oh, how'd you get this?
You see businessmen, all the time. But you can see I hate it.
Yeah, bro.
People pocket watch. Christians are so judgmental towards each other. They don't even want to bother trying to outreach. They're just going to nitpick and fight each other.
Like, it's bad. So I think you see a little bit of that, and to compare to spaces though, I feel like and that's worldly, But then too is like, I mean, the popularity of it comes with a lot of easy access to people, businesses, women, like it's a worldly thing. Football is a worldly thing, so it's going to contain worldly, pleasures and temptations and all that. So I mean, it's.
I'm going to pause you there. I'm going to ask you about your temptations in a sec, but you already led me there. I have a verse that I wrote out. Proverbs 19:4-6. Wealth brings many new friends, but a poor man is deserted by his friend. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who breathes out lies will not escape. Many seek the favor of a generous man. Everyone is a friend to a man who gives gifts. So what is it like being in the NFL, man? You get your first contract. Like I just said, everyone's pocket watching. You know how many people are going to try to become your friend for influence, or, oh, my dude's in the NFL, blah, blah, blah. I'm kicking with this guy because he's got clout, in the social media world. So how do you even mitigate that? How do you handle it? And what kind of happened in your life?
Yeah. So for me, I really thank God for my family and the people that He surrounded me with from a young age. And I mean, like, this is my family. I'm talking about like my blood family. They kind of always had my back. Me and my mom, like, we were like best friends. Obviously, we were super close growing up. And she was a person that kind of always had my back. And I would say I dealt with that from, like...
Oh, man, yeah. I didn't even think Ohio State probably.
I dealt...
all the little frat guys.
I dealt with that. I dealt with it But I'm not gonna lie, my mom and my family did a really, really, really good job of kind of mitigating it for me, to be honest. And like I would say when I first got into the league, me and my mom, like, we kind of had like some falling outs that I never thought we would have. It was kind of like, it wasn't so much like, oh, like, you think you better than everybody, but it was just really like some miscommunication because there was something new in our lives that neither one of us has ever experienced, right? So, like for me, there was like, it was a lot going on, right? I was just got drafted. I had, Taylor, our son Kai, had to move, had to find a house, had to do this, had to do that. And, like in that short span of time, like you get so busy and caught up and stuff, it's like you slowly, like those little conversations that you used to have every single day start turning into, maybe like once every 2 days or once every 3 days or once a week or
Death by 1,000
you know what I'm saying? It just starts slowly. So for both of us, it was like, this is different. And it wasn't necessarily because of the money. Like the money, like, okay, whatever. But like, that was just the intentionality of it, like, left. You know what I mean? So from my mom's side of things, she was like, dang, I ain't heard from my boy in a week. What's going on? And then on my side of things, I'm like, dang, like, I'm so busy. I got this, and this. Like, what? I don't even know what to do. Like, where to go? Like, this person help me. Like, who's supposed to help me? I don't know. So, and that was like just a small stint in our life, but like, I think we grew. Like, I think we grew from that. You know what I mean? But now it's like, my mom is that person that's like, well, no, like Parris got he got his own family. Like that man is a husband. That man is a father. Like he got to take care of his family, and that was something that I always appreciated. Now, like when I can, I'm gonna help my family out, like because that like if my family like absolutely needs something. Like both sides of our family, my side, my wife's like, we're gonna do what we can. And I ain't saying like I'm just throw, you know what I'm saying? But when I can, and it makes sense, like I'm going to help. And that's something that I can appreciate, being in a position to help. But like I said, my family always did a great job of like people that were trying to leech or people like that got cut off real quick. My mom really don't like. If you ever met my mom, she's like she don't play.
I also feel like there's a level. I believe that, but based on everything that you said. But as you grow closer to God, you really recognize fruits, and so then you can just see the people's fruits.
See who really mean. Yeah. Like see who like, really. Wow.
Who's actually like trying to mess with you because you're just a good Christian guy, or they're just trying to clout some power off you.
Yeah, because it was times like we had people and marketing opportunities, and it's like when I'm balling the starter for these teams, like
pop up.
Yeah, everybody want to come pull up.
Bye.
Yeah, like I had a deal with Hyundai.
Okay. Yeah.
So they like. I want to say for 3 to 4 years in Indy. So they'd give us a free car, this and that. It was like, start getting injured and
Hyundai has to call me in.
You can bring that car back in.
No.
What? Okay. Oh, yeah.
Bring the car back?
This deal is, they made sure to remind me when this deal ends. Yeah, this deal ends on this day. I'm like, oh, okay, bet. But it's just like little stuff like that. Like, when you're going through the worst of the worst, nobody want to be with you. But when you're on the top of the top, oh yeah, let's go shoot this cover art and let's you know what I'm saying? Let's come be the face of this and like, but it's just I think that scripture
banded together better.
That scripture's real though, but facts. I think more but more believers need to do stuff like this. Like I think what you're doing with the pod is dope. Like you know what I'm saying? I think that's fire, but.
And you too, man. Keep it going.
Yeah, for sure.
If this is anything, you need to keep it going.
This
should be your number one sign, bro. You need to keep it rolling, bro.
For sure. But nah, man, I just, that's just the way of the world, though. You know what I mean? That's the way of the world. And, being in that word and being in the scripture, helps us navigate it, for sure.
And so you talked a lot about your mom and how much you almost relied on her for prayer. But you've also seen how much in your life having her be a prayer warrior for you has impacted you. How much different do you think it would be if Christians were to band together and be prayer warriors for each other?
Man, I think that's the essence of Christianity, because it's something that our pastor says, and I think it stands true. But he has a little slogan. He's like, people don't change in columns; they change in circles. And pretty much is what he's saying is like, when you come to church, you know, we sitting in rows, we sitting in columns, right? Mm-hmm. But we need to be in these small groups, bro, where we can be real and connect
iron sharpens
and learn.
iron.
You know what I'm saying? Learn about people, because he's like, that's where the heart changes. That's where God comes right in the midst, and like between 1 and 2, 3, 4, you know what I'm saying? A close-knit group where we can talk and be serious and have serious conversation and be open and just be vulnerable and just, like I said, strip everything away, right?
That's the number one thing is Christians need to be more vulnerable and truthful.
1,000%.
Actually talk about what we're struggling with.
1,000%.
Our prayer lives aren't perfect. Every time I pray for this, let's also admit, like, yo, I'm also having doubts about this prayer. Like, it feels like I'm just throwing dart at a board. Be honest about that.
Yeah.
There's no shame in that. We're all walking and having the same issues.
For sure. And like, be upfront with what you're scared about. Like, it ain't.
And what you're struggling with.
It ain't. There's no shame in like having questions for God. Like, like, he wants you to ask questions. You know what I mean? Like,
I would feel like you're in the wrong place if you
come on, man.
No questions.
Come on. Like, oh, really? You just gonna sit there and everything that happens is just like, nah. Like, let's be realistic. We human. Yeah. And I think, like you said, Christians banding together. I think that's the essence of Christianity.
Okay. So go back. I kind of asked you this. We didn't really touch on it. So, like, what is it though in the NFL? You know, you see all these people. Always the outcries, and I love that. And it is impacting people, and that is amazing. But what do the fruits look like, kind of behind the scenes? Is, you know, what's actually going on? Give me an inside scoop. You saying like the fruits of like Christian NFL players, or are you saying just however you want to go about that question? I feel like you already know which way you want to take it.
No, I mean, because when you ask me that question, like people just pop up, like certain people, like you said. Because ask the question again. I want to make sure I'm on the right track.
Yeah. You'll see all the time people are talking, talking about their Christianity. They're talking about different things. Yeah. Oh, glory to God, all these things. But then, true faith is really with the fruits behind the scenes, man. It's not just your public declaration. I think about like a guy like Travion or Mika. Like they literally led a full, revival from Ohio State. Like that's amazing. Those are fruits. That's amazing. Yeah. But I don't know a whole lot of other people I can name, that is doing that, and that's not because they're not doing it. I just don't know them like that, and that's
for sure.
I'm not gonna say they're not a Christian. But what are the fruits like behind the scenes? Because I don't know another sport where it feels like every interview is all glory to God, but there are times when you notice they cut certain people's interviews. I remember they cut C.J. Stroud's off of whatever it was, NBC, ABC. I do remember that, I was like, oh, but you didn't cut these other two guys, because C.J. Stroud was just literally at the volunteering and so I'm not saying anybody, again, I just don't want to call people fake Christians, like you should call yourself out first. But I am interested on what it is like actually behind the scenes. Like, what are they doing? How are Christians banding together?
So I think, obviously, like what you see outside looking in, guys like Travion, guys like Emeka, like leading, like being a part of that revival at Ohio State, those are fruits. Day-to-day fruits is, let's do a Bible study. Let's go volunteer down here. Let's go to church. Oh, you want to join a men's small group? Hey, I'm joining this men's small group, bro. Like, I think you should come be a part of it. Oh, we just had men's night. Bro, I'm going to sign us up for men's night. Let's go to men's night together. Let's go hear this word. Like, if you know what I'm saying, if that's really what you about, that's how you live your life. I mean, it's no different from who you around, right? It's the same thing. Like, bro, let's no, I want to go have a Bible study. Like, let's go talk. Like, bro, are you okay today? Like, what's good? What's the word? Like, how you feeling? Oh, I'm good. I'm blessed and highly favored. No, like, how you really doing, bro? Like, let's talk. Let's have this conversation. And
why can't you do both? So for me though, like I think about Isaiah Hodgins. That's why I have grown to love their couples Bible study so much. It is, hey, we're gonna get in the Word because let's all grow together and get in His presence. But also there is we're not just in the Word. We got to be really real, and that's how we're gonna grow. 100%. And I feel like one without the other isn't as good as both of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
No, I agree 100%. But then when you ask me that question, it's well, what are the fruits? Like I said, people start popping up. So you say Isaiah, Isaiah comes to mind. You know what I mean? Like, he is, I don't want to gas him up too much, but I know you go watch this. But no, he's the epitome of that. Real rap. No,
you talked about his music and the way he's talking about scripture in the locker room.
Bro, I got a story about that. I don't know if he told you about that, but I got a story about that.
Yeah.
So, this was I want to say this was right before I signed with Philly, so 3 years ago now, or 2 years ago. Yeah, whatever, 3 years ago. And we was training out in Arizona, right? And bro, we was I want to say we was at the gas station when we had the actual conversation because we were going somewhere or something. And he came up to the car like while I was pumping gas, like just messing around, playing around. And I was listening to like some just hip hop music. I don't even know who I was listening to, but some hip hop artist or whatever. And
music is tough for me, man.
It's
so tough.
No, it's hard. So and maybe this is divine because I got delivered. Really,
okay.
Like real rap. So
you're good on the music now?
Yeah.
I go through big waves where I'll have everything deleted and then out of nowhere, man, I'm just ripping it at the gym. And I'm like, dang.
And I got some opinions. Well, I got some opinions on it. But
please.
No, so Zay like basically called me out.
Yeah.
He was like, bro, like
he's big on that.
You like listening to all this secular music and this and that. Like he wasn't calling me out of a place of judgment. It was really from a place of love. But at the time, like I thought it was a place of judgment.
We're supposed to hold each other
100%. And he'd tell you the story too. Like I snapped at Zay. I was like, bro, you not the perfect Christian, bro. Like who are you to condemn me for my music and this
story?
Yeah,
not on the pod.
Yeah. I was like, bro, you don't like this ain't. You don't like, you know what I'm saying? You're not the perfect Christian in it. Like, don't be trying to condemn me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's pull up the scripture, bro. Look at the own log in your own eye. Don't just call out the speck of mine, right? It was like one of those type deals. And bro, I took what he said after me getting like out of being mad, because really
your flesh reacting.
My flesh reacting, but I took a moment that night. He'll tell you, I took a moment that night, and I realized that was conviction. Like that was conviction talking. And so I prayed about it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I was talking as a flesh reacting. That's conviction talking.
That's conviction talking. And so I prayed about it, thought about it, sat with it. And then I came back to Zay the next, I don't know if it was the next day or it might have been the next 2 days, but I came back whenever it was. And I was like, Zay, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I needed that. And you know, Zay being Zay, he like, nah, bro, I just really wanted to let you know, like, that wasn't from a place of judgment. He was like, I know you said what you said about, you know, about me being a perfect Christian. He's like, bro, I know I'm not a perfect Christian, but it's really just because God has to, like, he's been working on it that way in my life, and I wanted to just bring it to you because you're my brother, and I love you. And it's like, I accepted that as a man because I know Zay. Like, I know Zay has no ill will, and I know, you know what I'm saying, I just know his true character. And so, like, obviously, I didn't get delivered right away in that moment.
Yeah, it's a process.
But literally that whole time in Philly, me and my wife, we started to like experience Christian hip hop.
It's gotten a lot better.
It's gotten a lot better, bro. And it's like,
it's crazy. Like, you know, I told you, like Futuristic even now has switched over, and and you know, they're all getting involved, and they're like managing all these artists. It's actually getting crazy.
Yeah, it's wicked. And so like, just kind of on my journey, like slowly but surely, like all the secular stuff been weeded out. And like even now, like you know, because in the weight room, locker room, like secular music is played, and it's just not like it don't hit the same for me. It's not appealing to me anymore, bro. And it's just like,
now that I'm saved and I hear the words, it's
and you just like nah, I don't think, you know what I'm saying. And so it's like, even when I'm in the weight room, like, and I might get caught up. I might catch myself singing the lyrics, and I'm just like,
they're just ingrained.
Exactly.
And it's just the beat. You're just kind of just in your moment.
And that's how it's made. Like it's made the beat, the rhythms of like all of it is like, it's made like that on purpose to be catchy and for people to like know it. And so when I really got convicted about it is when, because I used to love Juice WRLD.
So did I.
Yeah, Juice WRLD was one of my favorite
dark
artists.
days.
Yeah,
and
bro.
I listen to it back now, and I'm like, what was I listening to?
I was like, bro, I used to play this around my son, bro. Like, real deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? Like, I would play the clean version, but like, this ain't really clean. You know what I'm saying? And so when
I didn't realize how bad it was until like I've been long removed from my Juice WRLD days.
Yeah.
And then my wife was like, "Yo, do you actually know what you were listening to?"
That's the same thing that happened to me, bro. Literally the same thing that happened to me.
Oh my gosh, this is like a satanic ritual.
Yes, bro. And my wife called me out on it. She called me shit because like, bro, I'd be in the kitchen like helping her wash dishes and be, and you say something, you be like. She look at me like, what did you just say? I'm like, oh, I'm just singing the song. Yeah. But nah, like, you know what I'm saying? We're ingraining those thoughts in our
power.
Man, power in the tongue, bro.
The power of the tongue right into the world just by singing that out.
Yep. And so, I got convicted with it, bro, and started finding some Christian artists. And shoot, I got an opportunity to go because I met, this is crazy. It's crazy how, I don't even know how it happened. So the drummer, the guy that played drums in our church choir in Philly, bro, turns out he invites me to this, you ever heard of Holy Smoke? The Christian Artist Festival in Nashville.
Yes.
So I got to go to it last year. So I got to go and meet all the artists. So the guy that played drums in our church choir in Philly, bro, he's like a pioneer engineer for Christian hip hop. Like he worked with like Lecrae, Andy Mineo, like all these guys like back in the day, like when they were just getting their start. And like he worked with all these artists. And so he invites me to the Holy Smoke thing. And I'm like, so I ended up getting released from training camp with the Cowboys last year. And so then I had this time because I got hurt. So they released me with an injury settlement.
Man, another one?
Crazy. Yeah, crazy. But
are you healthy now? Are you feeling good?
No, I'm not. I just had something happen today. But
we'll cut that if we need to.
No, you good. Okay. You good. But he invited me and I had time. I had time because I was at the crib just rehabbing, right? And so I went to the Holy Smoke, bro. I got to meet Hovey. I got to meet Lecrae. I got to meet.
I went to Hovey's concert.
Fire.
Oh my god,
bro. He's such a down to earth dude.
Yes.
Met Forrest Frank before. We got to meet Indie Tribe, like John Keefe. No big deal.
So
all those guys.
All futuristic.
Yeah.
Futuristic was with all of them.
Yeah. So I got to meet all those guys.
Man.
And it was, because I didn't really know what to expect. Because you know how the music space is, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. I mean, once I went to the festival, bro, because like I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if these guys were gonna be like actual Christians, or I didn't know.
That
like,
was my point, though.
Yeah,
the music industry is foul.
It's crazy.
The amount of stuff that goes on, even behind the scenes. I mean, a lot of people know how demonic it is in general.
Yep.
But man, behind the scenes, it's just that much worse.
It's wicked. It's wicked. And so, like I'm saying, like going into like kind of knowing that, because I was like I was big into the hip hop culture, bro. Like I was like one of those like guys that stay up late Friday nights, all the album releases. Like I was one of them dudes. And so, bro, but like just like the Lord's presence that was in that place, bro, it was just so cool to see and be a part. I'm like, no, like this. So like when you see like people now get on reviews and like, oh yeah, Christian hip hop music is demonic, and I'm like,
demonic? No,
I have no idea, bro. Like God never said there was a certain way that music can be used for His glory. Like, bro, like no, they just bring in hip hop culture to God, like Christianity, and I'm like, it's dope.
It's just non-secular music.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying it's worship.
Yes,
now,
right.
If it was worship, now we might have a problem.
Yeah,
but
100%.
No one's saying that. It's just something we can listen to on a beat that we like. That's not secular.
Yep. And if it's something that's catchy,
it,
I can sing this while I'm cleaning instead of something else that's secular.
I'm not talking about killing people and drugs.
Exactly.
I'm still talking about glorifying God.
Yep. And at the end of the day, like those dudes that I met, those are true Christians, bro. Yeah. Like, and you can tell. Like when I'm having conversation with them, I can see it in their eyes. Like, no, like these are Christian believers, like followers of Christ. And so that was just like that was a dope moment for me too. Yeah. So.
Man, I'm so bummed to hear that sometimes. I won't talk about that.
No, you got, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like we could, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. Cause
I'm just curious now.
We can talk about it.
What happened?
So
today.
Yeah, I popped my hamstring today. We had like conditioning today, like we was running routes and conditioning at the same time. So I popped my hamstring, felt it, and
Give me a real raw reaction to it though. Like, how do you feel about it? And like, have you taken it to God already?
Yeah.
Where you at with it?
For sure. So yeah, first initial reaction, like walking back into the training room.
And just 2 seconds before that, are you still hoping to get signed to an active roster?
Yeah. So technically, I guess technically everybody's active right now because it's the off-season program. Yeah. But obviously, I want to go into training camp, have a good camp, make the team, and all that stuff. Yeah, for sure. But initial reaction was like, oh, why is something else happening, right? Right? Like, dang, like, why is something else happening? But immediately after, I bro, kid you not, I went to the back of the locker room where, like, we go, like, where our buses are at, and, like, I went, like, where nobody could see me. Mm-hmm. I got on my knees and, like, just was praying. Like, and it wasn't, like, praying, like, God, like, why is this happening? I was praising God, bro. Like, I'm like, I know your will is better than whatever I had planned.
Come on.
And I'm going to praise you even when it looked bad. Like, I really am. And that's something that my wife my pastor's wife just preached on this past Mother's Day sermon about instead of having an earthly perspective on things, having a heavenly perspective on things. Instead of having a victim perspective on things, having a victor's perspective on things. And like, I just remember everything she said in that sermon, and she was like, our faith and everything is built through a process, which is kind of what we've been talking about too. It's like we need to ask ourselves, well, what can I learn about God in this moment?
Yeah.
How is he using me in this moment? What is he doing through me in this moment? Not going directly to, oh, dang. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing something right now. I'm a victim. Oh, something happened again. I'm hurt again, this and that. Like, so when I got done, I just had a renewed sense, bro. Like, I went from like, oh, this is over. Dang, I'm probably going to be done or whatever the case may be. Like,
You got plenty of time.
got time. And it's just like,
And so what, man? It's God's
so
will.
what?
I think the coolest part about hearing that, and I'm super glad we just talked about that, and you just said process. Look at the process and the amount of basically just the way that your Christianity and faith has revolved over everything that we've talked about.
Yep.
Think about how proud of you were of your wife for just being submissive and being, oh, I just want your will.
Yep.
I think you should be equally proud of yourself, something you've worked your whole life for, something that's a lot of people's dream, but specifically your dream that you've worked your whole life for. And on top of that, you've got injury after injury after injury after injury, and your career probably, from what I would assume, hasn't turned out the way you hoped it would have. And at the end of all of it, you popped your hamstring again.
Yeah.
And you, at that moment, you didn't get down and go, why me? You got on your hands and knees and said, God, I just want your will.
Yep.
I think you should celebrate how much growth
of
your whole story and actually take a second to recognize that.
For sure. No, I appreciate you saying that too. Because, like when you just kind of going too, it's like you don't really take those moments for yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
and you shouldn't. But
you know what I mean? It's just like, grand scheme of things now, like, that's a lot of growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is. And I ain't gonna lie, like, I just truly thank God. Because, kind of every day I just wake up and pray. I'm like, God, I just want your will to be done. I really do, bro. Like, and I know you probably familiar with Tony Evans, Dr. Tony Evans. No, he has a huge ministry in Dallas, like this Dallas area, but he's written books and got study Bibles and all that stuff. But he's the chaplain for the Cowboys, and he did a Bible study with us this past week, and he's kind of talking, about like kind of knowing when we're doing God's will and what I'm saying, being aligned and all that stuff, right? And one thing that he said, it stuck with me. He was like, you don't have to chase God's will. God's will is going to find you if you're in alignment. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, it just hit me, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, if you are in alignment, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, like, the will of God is, like, it's on you. You know what I mean? Like,
doors are just open and you're just kind of walking
like,
through
it ain't.
You're not chasing doors to
it ain't
be
gotta,
opened.
It ain't got to be nothing you got to do in your own power. Like, the will of God will find you. And
the hardest part, though, that I think a lot of people miss is the blind steps of faith you have to take. I always think of have you ever seen the Indiana Jones? When he throws the sand, he takes that blind step off the ledge. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's our Christian faith so many times. Yep. You just have to blindly take the step, but if you do, the path is already laid out. Yep. You just got to keep taking the steps.
Because there's no faith without action. Mm-hmm. Many times as people, Christians, but non-Christians, like, whatever, like, you want God to lay every step out for you. Like, God's not Siri. Like, he not gonna tell you in 1 mile turn left.
It's because as humans, we want control.
Yep.
We want to see where we're going. Yep. We want the control. God, I don't trust you.
Yep.
I think I do, but I actually don't because I need to see the plan.
Yep.
Just take the step, bro.
You gotta take the step. Like, it's like that faith's not gonna come without action. Mm-hmm. And I might be even talking to myself a little bit
right now,
bro. Me and you both.
Yeah.
Me and you both, bro.
Man.
Me and you both. I mean, shoot, it's I don't know. It's been on my heart about just kind of my next phase of life, like what God's wanting me to do in this season. Like, when football's gonna be done for me, and what
last forever.
You know what I'm saying?
Where's
like,
the next season coming?
So, and like,
any ideas?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to go into coaching. And shoot,
sounds like we had a little podcast we started.
Yeah, got a little podcast going, and but it just comes down, like you said, like just taking that leap, mm-hmm. bro. And I think what's so cool about taking that leap. Like, for me personally, when I look back at everything that we just talked about, it's like every single moment of desperation, like there was a God win at the end of it all. And so it's like that, like I said, that gives me hope. Like when I do take that faith step, like he's not gonna let me fall. He's not gonna let me fall. And so, you know what I'm saying, just putting the hope in that.
It just reminded me of a Bible verse. I was literally just reading this, like I think yesterday, but it's a popular verse. It's the one with, I'll read it to you right here. Matthew 7:21. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, cast out demons, yada, yada. And then I will declare to them, I never knew you, depart from me. Then it immediately goes into the parable, though, in Matthew 7:24. Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. So what's crazy to me is I always hear those verses and I kind of was always like scared of it, trying to figure out what it means to Christian, be a Christian, blah, blah, blah. But the main thing that stuck out to me is we know that you have like faith and faith alone is what gets you saved. If anybody is going to get confused by what I'm about to say, make sure I'm clarifying that now. But there's faith without works is dead. And the works is really just, you have to produce fruit in your life as a Christian. That's how you know you have saving faith. But what's crazy to me when I read this, it's the one who does the will of the Father. And I've just always thought about like doing the will and the purpose that God has for my life is really what's going to set me up as a Christian. And then when you go down, it's the man who built his foundation on the rock. He built his foundation not just on being a Christian, not just on having good fruits, but also the foundation of who does the will, doing what was called upon on his life, having the foundation of walking the path that God actually has set out for you. That's the foundation that you're supposed to have, and that's what will set you up as a Christian.
Bro, could have said it any better. Could have said it any better. And I mean, shoot, to add to that, there's a scripture. Literally that phone call that I just had when I was driving up here, I was talking to the strength coach in Philly. And we're kind of just talking about my situation and what just happened, my injury and all that stuff. But he was talking about, we were actually talking about the will of God, and he brought up a scripture in Thessalonians. And it says, rejoice always. Like, that's the will of God. Like, no matter where you are, like you just said, no matter where you are, like rejoice always. and like I said,
and you know who wrote Thessalonians?
Paul.
Yeah, and you know where he wrote it? In a jail cell.
Oh yeah,
literally a rock.
Yep.
It's literally just a big rock hole, and in the ceiling there's just one little light hole, and it's just a rock hole.
Yeah.
And it's literally the most wretched place you could be. And even him is saying, rejoice always.
Rejoice always.
And literally the author who wrote like half the Bible is the one who's like, I'm a wretched man. I have a thorn. And, you know, in reality, he was probably a way better Christian than we were. Not that we're comparing. But he's like, yo, a lot of people just need to hold themselves more accountable and rejoice always.
Rejoice always, bro. Bad, good, ugly, and different. Like, just rejoice. Rejoice.
Well, I had a couple random fun questions, but I think that was the perfect way to wrap this up.
For
just
sure.
rejoice always and just be a better Christian.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you for coming on, man.
Absolutely, bro. Appreciate you for having me, man.